خلاص 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 كلش اوكي.
Harder! Get cake, snakes get slivery. Lean in, show y'all the meaning in chivalry. Rap ruler, you can ask Buddha. Right jab like Zab Judah.
Oh, he's it.
Every member on my team is a shooter. Tight like a room, no room for intruder.
Yes, people. Yes. How we all doing? I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you very much for joining me again this evening for the build-up show towards Big Up at 10:30. Also chatting about all the Liverpool stuff in the latest news. How we all doing? Hope everyone's doing good. Liverpool won a game of football, so it's always always a little bit better when we win games of football, isn't it? So yeah, always a bit better when we win games of football. We're in a better mood. We're all a little bit more cheery. Do you know what I'm saying? We're all a bit more cheery. But yeah, big up the chat. Hope you're all doing hope you're all doing good. Hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, man, go chat some Liverpool today. Go chat some Liverpool. Look, before we get started, obviously, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff, people. And yeah, I hope we're all doing well, man. I hope we're all doing well. That was it. There's back cooking. Understandable, Goose. Understandable. Big up, man. Big up, Black Prince. Big up, my man, all the way from Jamaica. Big up, my friend. Big up, Alexander. Big up, Pavan. Big up, Helsinki. Big up, Randy. Big up, Hike. Simon. Big up, everyone in chat, man. Hope you're all doing good. Hope you're all blessed. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, we're going to talk about Liverpool, man. I want to have big up regular Scouse Kid in the house as well. Bosh. Yeah, I just want to chat Liverpool guys for about an hour. Big up my man Fozzie as well. Hope he's doing well as well. Yeah, I just want to have a little Liverpool chat, yeah. Keeping it, I'll keep it straight down the middle. I enjoyed yesterday's game. But I enjoy every Liverpool game. Big up my man Scraps as well. I enjoy every Liverpool game, as you guys know. I enjoy. But I enjoyed yesterday. I'm going to get to the reasons why I enjoyed yesterday as well. Individual players. I enjoyed some individual player performances yesterday. We'll get to them as well. The manager, he's coming for a lot of criticism. Rightly so, not hiding the fact he deserved a lot of criticism. I'm not saying he listened to us, but he did definitely change things. So yeah, we're going to talk about it. And obviously, it was a game against Frankfurt, which one thing I will say to get this started, the discourse after the game cracks me up, because before the game, before Frankfurt, over the weekend, after the loss to Man United, and and on the Monday, on the Tuesday, most Liverpool fans thought we're going to lose to Frankfurt or we're going to draw to Frankfurt. We can't see us winning against Frankfurt away from home. That's what the discourse was. Now we've beaten Frankfurt 5-1. It's only Frankfurt. Do you know what I mean? It's like the discourse changed. Oh, it's only Frankfurt. Or, yeah, we should be beating Frankfurt 5-1 because we're far better. And it's not, yeah, of course. But, yeah, loads of people calling, saying Liverpool will go either not win that game or draw that game against Frankfurt. It was either going to be a draw or 5 losses in a row. That's what the discourse was. And now we've beaten Frankfurt. Yeah, people change their minds in that situation. But I'm going to give you my explanation into it all. I don't think everything's changed over in one game, and I'll explain it. I'll explain myself now. Big up regular Skasky, big up my man Colin, big up Mac, big up Eden, big up Goose Duck, big up Scraps as well. Big up everyone in chat, man. I hope you're all doing. I hope you're all doing very well. Big up regular Skasky. I predicted 3-1 Frankfurt. Big up regular Skasky. So the manager. We asked him to change things, and we wanted to see some change. You know, the loss to Man United was a big one. It took, you know, I think the loss to, big up Nico, I think the loss to Man United hit us the most, yeah? I think that hit us the most because it's losing against our arch rivals and nemesis, our most hated rival. You know, losing that game was hard to take, especially how bad Man United are right now. It was extremely, extremely difficult to take. And we needed to see a change. We needed to see something different. We needed to see some positivity. We needed our manager to show that he isn't stubborn and that he can change things when he needs to change things. Now, the one thing I will say, this was a European game and not a Premier League game, yeah? So we have to just put that to one side as well. We have to put all this, you know, in the atmosphere. It was a Champions League game in Europe. He might have played it different in a way. I'm not sure. But let's put that to the side. The personnel change. He does change it up a little bit in Europe sometimes because I think against Galatasaray, I don't think Mo Salah played in that game either. I think Ekitike started that game as well. So there were some, you know, Curtis Jones played in that game as well. So, you know, there were some, you know, personnel changes. But the one thing I will say, and it's what I will say on the subject here, it's not the personnel change that I was happy to see. It was the fact that he changed the system up a little bit. Now, it didn't work in one game, and we're going to speak about it in a minute. I don't think any of us expect us to go back to being the defensive rock at one end and the attacking world-class team at the other in the space of one game. I think we all expect there to be, you know, a change and then that change to take time to take shape. But the fact that I saw some kind of change, you know, made me a little bit more happy about what might happen going forward. So he obviously played in a way that we almost played a 4-4-2 off the ball and a 4-4-2 on the ball at times as well. You know, and just that little change there. Yeah, it took a while for it to work because the first half an hour, in my opinion, Liverpool was still all over the place defensively and in build-up in the first 30 minutes of that game. It took a while for Liverpool to understand what they're trying to do. They still left big gaps in the midfield. That's true. No lie there. You know, and things like that. And that was the first half an hour of the game. But I think after that, the players sort of started to understand the way that the manager wants us to defend in this 4-4-2 out of possession. You know, Vert's playing off the right, you know, in this new way of slot playing. You know, Isak and Ekitike basically making a 2. You know, then Cody Gakpo a more withdrawn left midfield role where he's actually helping out defensively. But in the first half an hour, I still think like the two central midfielders are leaving their space in midfield too easily, and it takes time to adapt. But that is the one thing. It's the one thing I liked. And look, these things take time to adapt as well. I didn't expect them to go, right, we're playing 4-4-2 out of possession, and we're playing like this almost like 3-5-2, almost in possession and building up a little bit differently than we have been building up. You know, we're not going to be building up from the left back, right back. We're actually going to play the ball through the middle this time and build up from the middle, build up from Curtis Jones. It takes a little bit to adapt to it, but they did adapt to it. And then when they adapted to it, I think Liverpool started actually playing well and controlling the game. But that's the one thing I like. Look, I'm all right with him changing personnel and stuff like that. But when you change personnel and you play exactly the same way as you've been playing before, it's still a problem. Changing personnel and changing the way we played, that's, you know, that's a step in the right direction. That means Slot knows it is wrong what's happening right now. And there's something not quite right at this moment in time in the way we're playing. So he was willing to, you know, change it up a little bit for this game. Now, It's not perfect. There's still issues. You know, I'm not saying, I'm not going to sit here and lie to people and say, oh, we're done now, we're fixed. Yeah, he found the magic ingredient in one game. It's impossible. What he needs to do now, if he thinks this is the way to play out of possession and in possession, we've got to stick with it. Maybe little tinkers to it as we're going along. But he's got to stick to something. He's got to stick to a plan now. And if he sticks to a plan, yeah, it's not always going to be great going forward in the next few weeks. It's going to be some hits and misses. We're going to look good sometimes, still look vulnerable, you know, at other times. But that's what happens when you're trying to, on the fly, start with a new system and bring and try something new. Like we're 8 games into the season. So you're going from what you wanted to do in pre-season up to now, and it not quite working, not quite clicking, and you need to stop the rot. You need to stop what's happening going on right now and try and get the best and the qualities out of the players that you have available to you. And the players we have available to us are quality, and we need to somehow get them going. So you've got to change things, and he changed things. And I think we, for the first time this season, I would say after the half an hour mark, because it didn't work straight away, but after the 30-minute mark, I think Liverpool looked like more like a team for the first time this season. I think we look more like an actual side, an actual team with a plan and how they want to play. And I think we saw for the first time that vision on the pitch as well. Big up Barry, man. Big up Nick in the chat as well. Big up to you, my man. Hope you're doing well. Big up Asher in the chat. Big up Mr. T in the chat as well. Main Amateur in the chat. Giant in the chat. Who else we got here? Yeah, big up, man. Big up Reds as well. Hope you're all doing good. And yeah, we looked like a big up Cringe as well. We looked like a team for the first time, man. Big up Harry. We looked like a team for the first time this season. A team that looked like they knew, you know, a team that looked like they knew what they were doing. They knew how to play together. There were patterns of play. They tried to move the ball quickly. You know, but it's all going to take time. I didn't expect, and I don't know if any of us, I mean, some people might have done, but I didn't expect us to enter the pitch against Frankfurt and to it click as soon as the whistle blows and we become the new Liverpool. I mean, that's just not always going to happen. Big up my man, Cav. It's been a long time, man. Cav, I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope you're doing really well, yeah? Big up to you, my man. We've got to get Cav back on the show. It's been so long. I think it's been over a year since Cav was on the show. Got to get Cav back on the show, man. Top guy. But he changed something, and that's all I wanted. You know, that's all I wanted from this situation is that Slot recognised there's an issue, and he was willing to change things and change the shape and the way we played through. But it took a bit of the game for us to get going. And I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Big up Liz in the chat as well. Hope you're doing well, Liz. Hope you're doing well. Big up Mantis in the chat as well. I see you there, my friend. I see you there. Main Amateur says, I genuinely don't believe Slot knows how to build a team. Have you noticed that all the players just seem to have headphones on when arriving to play? I think that's all. To be fair, Main Amateur, I see that with a lot of teams, not just our team. Big up Barry says, not going to lie, I was really worried about the Frankfurt game. Yeah, I think a lot of people were. Big up Nick, he says, Cav says he's free. Let me see if I've got Cav. I think I've got Cav's number still. If Cav wants to jump on, he can jump on, man. He knows that. He knows that. I ain't had Cav on in a long time, man. Big up Ends as well. Cav, if you want to jump on, you can, man. Big up Ends. Ends, did you get... while you're here, Ends, if you want to jump on the 10:30 show later, you can if you want, man. Yeah, put players in midfield, lol. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Playing players in the right position, playing them where it suits the system and suits the player. Yeah, man, I'm all out for it. I'm right for it. Be out, Cav. Cav, if you want to join, man, you're more than welcome to join, my friend. Just let me know. Big up fake pundit, man. Big up K-Days, mate. Are you doing K-Days? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Honestly, I was hoping for a 2-0 win. Big up Mr. D. Big up Nico. We finally gelled, and I think the most important thing is that the team played well. The setup was balanced. We played with intensity that we haven't, and we've got a big win. We need this. Yeah, man, I see a lot of that, you know. It took a while. You know, we weren't cooking from the first whistle. The first half hour still looked like the old Liverpool. You know, patterns of play weren't there. We're a bit disjointed. The midfield was being emptied out too much for my liking. There was too much gap between the midfield and defence in the middle of the pitch, especially for their first goal. It was easier to play through us. But I think Liverpool, you know, settled down, started to get the grips of the game, starting to get a grips of the situation and the system that Slot wants them to play. And it worked a lot better. But putting players in the right position helps for me. You know, it helps. You know, and one of them is Curtis Jones, man. Curtis Jones. I keep bigging up Curtis Jones. I love Curtis Jones, man. And Curtis Jones, out of all the midfielders we got right now, probably suits what Slot wants him to do the most. You know, he's a player that gives you control. He's a midfielder that gives you control. He is very good at keeping a ball and progressing with the football, running into space, taking up space, asking for the football, building through him. He's a good player, man. I know Curtis has got his hate, yeah. I know a lot of people don't like Curtis so much, but I think at this moment in time, I think Curtis is perfect for the system that we're playing, and I want to see more of him in this midfield. Now, I'd love to see Curtis playing a lot more. For me right now, Curtis is better suited than Alexis McAllister right now. And I never thought I'd say that because I think McAllister is a very, very good footballer. You know, I think he's a little bit overrated maybe, but I do think he's a very good footballer. And he's got a lot to his game that I really appreciate and like. But he's not in no form. He forms nowhere. He forms dead. He can't run at the moment. He looks in agony. He looks in pain all the time. He's got no athleticism. He struggles to get back into defensive positions when he's trying to move forward with the ball. Right now, he's just not at it. And for me, Curtis Jones should be playing ahead of him. You know, I think Curtis, as Barry says, is crucial for us right now. Szoboszlai, Curtis, and Gravenberch are the three guys in that double pivot. They should be rotating between the three of them. I don't mind what combination you play there because I think it all works. But they suit what Slot wants them to do, you know. But I love Curtis, man, and Curtis is maturing. He's becoming his own player, man. He's becoming his own player. Is Curtis Jones? He's coming to an age now where he's growing up. He's becoming a man. He's becoming more mature with his game as well. Yeah, and is Curtis Jones arrogant? You know, we've seen his. I don't know if anyone's seen his interview after the game. I loved it. Yeah, there's a little bit of arrogance there and cockiness, but I like that. Why dilute that? Why water that down? I know a lot of people don't like him because of his arrogance and cockiness, but man, I like him, man. I think Curtis is a good footballer. I don't know what people always want out of Curtis. Curtis is extremely good at doing the right thing. That's what Curtis is good at. He's very good at doing the right thing. You know, he's not always going to look for the Hollywood pass. He hasn't got that in him, yeah. Is he going to get a barrel of goals? Probably not, right? But I don't need Curtis Jones to score 20 goals a season. I really don't. I don't need him to have 15 assists a season. He's not that kind of player. But he's the link player in our team that we need in this structure right now, a system that we play. In this midfield system we play, we need Curtis Jones in it. We do. We need a Curtis Jones, a Szoboszlai, or a Gravenberch. They're the best three midfielders we got at receiving the ball from the centre-backs or the full-backs. They're the best ones at running into space. They're the best ones at holding their position and giving it simple. I think we overlook a simple pass. I think in football sometimes we overlook the easy pass sometimes. Because if you want to build up from midfield and you want to get control from midfield, a simple pass is the way to go most of the time. You know, you watch City under Pep in their prime, yeah? You know, he keeps the ball. They keep the ball simple at times. You know, when you watch City at their best with Pep, a lot of the time it looks like what they're doing is quite simple because they keep the ball very well. You know, 5-yard passes, you know, sideways, forwards, move into the space once you pass the ball, hold your position, move into space, hold your position, move the ball, hold your position, go into space again. That's how you control games. That's how you build it up from the midfield. And Curtis is good at that. He's just not a fashionable liked footballer. And I get it if people don't like him, but I think it's been the criticism Curtis Jones sometimes gets is, you know, a little bit over the top. I don't know what people want from Curtis. He's not, you know, technically as a footballer, Florian Wirtz at the other end of the pitch is going to be a better footballer all round than Curtis Jones. But I don't think Florian Wirtz could do what Curtis Jones does in a deeper midfield position. Everyone's got their abilities in the pitch, and you're meant to use the ability of that person in the right areas of the pitch. And Curtis Jones is perfectly used where he is in the middle of the pitch, in that deeper, more withdrawn role, running into space, going into space, instead of already being in that space and being crowded out. Moving the ball, running with the ball, keeping the ball. Yeah, at the moment, yeah, big up, Cav. At the moment, Curtis Jones plays for me, man. Curtis Jones plays for me. And I don't see nothing wrong with that, man. He stays in my team, that's for sure. That's for sure. Right, let me... There we go. It's been a while since I messaged you, Cav, actually. Cav, I sent you the link, man. Been a while since I messaged Cav. Big up, Cav. I WhatsApped you the link, man. And Curtis Jones, good defence here, and in his duels, he certainly is, man. He very much is. And it means a bit more to him as well, to be fair. Big up, Nick. I starred this, so wanted to make sure I saw it. He said, question, is it me or did each goal celebration not hit like they should? Like they were annoyed for not doing this earlier on? Yeah, I think, yeah, it does seem like that. I think the players knew as well that, you know, they haven't been up to task as well. I know a lot of people have blamed the manager, but, you know, some of these players are, you know, they need to pull out their socks and be accounted for as well. You know, the players always get away with it because at the end of the day, everything is relied on the manager. Like literally everything is relied on to the manager. You know, the players are crap, it's the manager's fault. The system is crap, obviously it's the manager's fault. If a striker misses on a one-on-one and we don't win the game, people will still blame the manager. Players get away with a lot, but I think the players yesterday knew that they haven't performed to a level they should be performing at as well as the manager this season. I think that showed yesterday. About Colin as well. He said, I've not seen us pressing this season like we were last night. Exactly as well. The pressing was much better last night. And I keep saying as well, the first half hour of the game was still a bit like Liverpool have been all season. It took them a while to adapt to what they were doing. And when they adapted, I actually think they played quite well. I actually feel like Liverpool made Frankfurt play the game Liverpool wanted as well, which I don't think Liverpool got enough credit for. You know, Frankfurt, they started the game really well, on a really positive note on the front foot, playing very good football. And I think once Liverpool got into their game, Liverpool started to play the game they wanted Frankfurt to play. And yeah, I think they did well, man. Big up, I love Klopp. Says big up the chat. First time here. Love having you, my friend. Big up to you, my friend. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it, my friend. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Jamie, do you understand football? Yes or no? Yes, I do, Arne. Arne, tell me what I'm saying wrong, my friend. Tell me what I'm saying wrong. See, tell me what I'm saying wrong, my friend. I've only gassed up Liverpool so far, and I've gave everyone props. So, you know, tell me what I'm saying wrong, and we could debate about it. This is what's good about football debate, man. Jamie, I remember one of us. Yeah, he was playing bad last season, Liverpool 67, but right now, doing well, man. What Discord? I don't have a Discord, regular Scouse Kid. As far as I know, I don't anyway, unless someone made one. Big up, though. You haven't said one correct thing, or else you'd be. Okay. You haven't said one correct thing, or else you would be manager of a club. Yes or no? So, Arne Slot, man, big up my man here. So you're in a Liverpool chat right now when we're discussing Liverpool, and we're debating on the football club. Oh, big up regular Scouse Kid. What do you want? I don't like. Oh God, yeah, it's got to be a bot, man. Crazy times. Yeah, oh, big up regular Scouse Kid. Yeah, I was like, I ain't got Discord. It's like, what are you saying, man? Oh dear. Maybe be specific if you're going to criticise him. Yeah, exactly, man. Opinions change over time. Good sign of growth, my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, come on, Mr. Arne Slot. What do you disagree with, man? What do you disagree with? Oh, I love you, man. Big up to you being in my Liverpool chat. I appreciate you here, man. I saw clips of you cussing, Slot. Yeah, man. I'm allowed to cuss whoever I want, man. Do you know what I mean? I cuss my own wife sometimes. Is that bad? Is that bad? Do you know what I'm saying? Life is life, my friend. Life is life, my friend. I will cuss anyone I want to cuss, man. But big up to you. Thank you for being here and helping with the YouTube algorithm by being in the chat. I do appreciate it because you're just helping me and the algorithm, and people find me more. So much love to you, my friend. Big heads on the cop, man. I hope you're doing well. Jay, we were big up Jones years ago. Yeah, I've been on love-hate relationship with Jones at times. When Jones is at, I've got times where I really want Jones to play, and he plays. You know, I've got times when Jones plays, and I'm like, I'll put him the air out because Curtis is not doing what I want him to do. But right now, he suits what we're doing, man. Let's get Cav in here. It's been so long, man. Be out, Cav.
Hello.
How you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Did you give Ends a percentage?
He would take a percentage even if it wasn't offered.
He will.
Because Ends is a businessman.
Business first, man. Business first. How you been, though, man? It's been a long time.
I'm all right. Busy as always, man. I don't get to do this content stuff as much as I used to, but yeah, I thought I'd step into the space again when Liverpool were winning, but that didn't happen. So here we are. In turmoil. Hopefully try and bring some logic, a bit of peace to the fan base. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you find the game yesterday? Because I've had my say on the game yesterday and stuff like that. But, you know, how did you find it? What did you see? Did you see any differences, changes? Because that's what, like, we're chatting here.
Yeah, look, there was changes for sure. But there's been changes throughout this season, and that's kind of worked against us a lot of the time because Slot is yet to find a team that got real chemistry, rhythm, fluidity, and all of that, which is rather expected. It's a lot of new players, a lot of still early on and what have you. But when I seen yesterday's lineup, I didn't quite know if it was. I didn't know what to expect. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what to expect every single time Liverpool play. You anticipate the best because we've got such quality players, and you kind of live in hope that there's just going to be a game where it's like it clicks and it works, and that chemistry's there, that dynamism's there, and all these players just they benefit each other on the pitch and they all perform great, but it's just not worked out that way. And I'll be honest, I don't quite know what the best Liverpool side looks like, if I'm being truly honest. Because different players have done well in different respects, but just not as a collective. So yesterday's lineup was a change, one we ain't seen before. It looked good. It looked good. I don't think it's the answer. I think that the side we played yesterday gave us opportunity to create chances and control the game. No disrespect to them, but they're not a great side, and they were a bit naive in how they played. Brentford will be a difficult test, and I'm not sure if that same lineup will be good enough or play in the way that's going to get the result. But look, it's what's worked, and we're clutching at straws a little bit at this point. So just keep. For me, I know we've got some enforced changes because of the injuries, but there was enough good things on show yesterday to just stick with it and see how that goes. Consistency now is what I think a lot of Liverpool fans want, isn't it? Let's not overcomplicate things again. Let's not chop and change all the time. Let's just try and keep a little bit of consistency and see how we get on, and tweak moving forward. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a funny thing because for a long time as Liverpool fans, we've always known what our best side is. We always know what we're going to get from Liverpool.
We can always name it, couldn't we?
Exactly.
Team preview, right? It's done in 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Well, it would be like, the identity under Klopp would be like high energy press from the front, counter press, quick transitions, all of that. Slot, we had to climatize a little bit to a slower pace and a bit more control on the ball. It got labelled boring, but we kind of knew what we were in for. This season, I don't know what the style is,
Do you think Arne Slot, and this is what big up James Redmond, who said this as well on the channel the other day. Do you reckon Arne Slot's trying to start a new philosophy at football where it's been, for like almost 10 years, we've had this particular philosophy at the football club where everyone's entwined in what we're doing, from the youth team to the first team to the staff, everyone, the coaching, manager, everyone was entwined in a new philosophy of the football club. Now it looks going forward. Do you think what Slot's trying to do now is change that way into his own philosophy and change the culture of the football club? And that's something that's going to actually take time to do because we've had the culture for so long and playing in a different way that it takes a while to change that culture.
I think, to be honest, I don't know if it's so much changing a culture because the best thing Slot probably did last season was actually not change too much. He recognised that it was a good squad. It recognised that it was good enough to go and win the league, and with a few tweaks that it could go on and do that, which it inevitably did. So he didn't do that last season. He didn't come in and try and make wholesale changes. He just tweaked it, And the most obvious thing to say was he kind of gave us or taught us or coached us into not rushing everything and being a little bit calmer on the ball and a bit slower at times. And look, that worked well for us because it gave us a lot of control in the games, and that ultimately meant we could go on to win the league. This season, I don't think that he's moved away from that mindset or that philosophy. I don't think he's trying to bring in a wholesale change. I think there's things he'd certainly like to see improved. I think he said it, didn't he? He'd like to see us move the ball a bit quicker and be able to turn on the ball quicker and stuff. This is stuff he's come out and said. So I think he's just trying to build on what we had last season, but it looks completely different because of a lot of reasons. Players out of form, and some of those are players that have been here for a long time that aren't meeting their standards, which is something he would have relied on happening. And also the new players coming in, not quite settling as quick as he perhaps hoped. I think Ekitike is the exception to that. I think he's been brilliant since he's came in. Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkes, they're still finding their feet at Liverpool. And like I say, it doesn't help when the likes of Salah, who's a leader at the front, Canate for the most part, Virgil even in some games. These guys that have been here for a long time know the way, know what the manager's asked them because they played it last season to success. They're not quite performing at the level they were, and it's just resulted in a bit of a mess. And then what you've got to do when you've got this mess and it's not quite working out as you'd hoped is to try find some consistency to build from. And that's where I think Slot's let himself down a little bit, because instead of trying to just stick to his guns and be patient with it, he's tried to chop and change, and that change hasn't really worked. So it's just compounded the issue. So Fair. We've just ended up in a place where a lot of players are sort of in and out of the team. Some players are out of form, and we just look like a little bit all over the place. But I trust the manager still to learn from this experience and recognize now what he needs to do, and try and just pick a consistent lineup. Give the guys a bit more clear instructions of what they need to do. Maybe simplify some players' games and roles. And and if you go back to basics, this team's got enough quality in it to win games. So we don't need to overcomplicate things, which is what I think he's been doing for a large part of this season. So yeah, in answer to your question, I don't think it's with purpose that he's trying to change the whole philosophy and identity. I think he's trying to tweak it. It's just not quite gone as well as he'd have hoped.
No, obviously he thought it would go a lot better, a lot sooner. And you say his first season. I mean, it'd probably be stupid to change too much in his debut season with what he's already got. So I think he was clever enough to do what he did in his first season. In his second season, which we're in now, he probably feels like this is more his team now, and he needs to start maybe changing it a little bit more to the way he wants to play. And if that is the case, things like that take a while. And then other people will say, did he need to do that? The thing with managers, they're all egotistical and like their own philosophies, the way they want to play. And I don't think Arne Slot wants to be known as the guy who only wins playing the Klopp way, because that would be what people were saying. They're all egotistical foot managers, aren't they? And that's probably what he's looking at. But
also, what we can't dismiss is that it's a couple of things. A few players were enforced on him as well. Trent wanted to leave, and Trent has been here for 20 years, but in the first team for a long time. And Trent has a very particular way of playing that's benefited us for so long. You take that out of the side, you can't replace that like for like. You've got to find new ways to fill that gap. So he was a big loss. Diaz, I think everybody could respect his hard work and his effort at Liverpool, and some people loved him, and some Liverpool fans really thought that he wasn't good enough for Liverpool and that he should be giving us better goals and assists, and we should be able to rely on him a little bit more as the main man in the forward line. But either way, what you can't deny is that he had an impact on our side last season, and that impact's now not here. So that's another big change to this team. So before you know it, you've took two starters out of that team last season that dramatically impact the way that we play. So whether Slot wanted that or not, it was what he had to deal with, and it's what he's had to compensate for. And I think in time, with Wirtz coming in and Ekitike and I think Bradley being able to play more consistently and stuff, I think that'll be fine. I think we'll find a slightly different way of playing. We'll find that solution in a different manner, but it might be just as good. But right now, it doesn't look like, I think if you ask Slot, if you could have both Trent and Diaz this season, would you take them? I think he would. I think he would rather have them players, because that would allow him to keep the side very similar to the one last season and then drop in these new additions when the right time comes. But that's not a luxury he's been able to afford.
No, I totally agree. Big up NZ, man.
Big up, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to see Cav back as well.
Yeah, you're getting that 15%, I think. You're getting that
15.
That's high still.
That is high. I saw it in the chat. Interest demanding 15. I think that's.
Nah, five is all right, man.
Five's all right. Five's good. Look, he changed it yesterday. Ends. Does he? Yeah. Does he keep it the same for Brentford? Does he tweak it again? Because as I said, Brentford's probably going to be a bit of a different opposition to what we had with Frankfurt. So, does he keep it, tweak it, or does he just go back to what he knows?
I hope he keeps it. And we'll just figure it out. I think the way we played in that game showed that we would be able to create a lot more chances as well. It looked a bit more free-flowing. It allowed space for Wirtz to operate where he needs to operate and get the best out of him. I think leaving two strikers up there, or one occupying or pinning the defender back. Cav made a great point on was it a preview we did? And then one of the striker then drops into the half space, and then they can operate in there, which can drag the other centre back out, and then your 10 can run in behind, which one of the goals we got with Cody, that's what happened. You know, one of the strikers dropped in, and then Wirtz was able to run in behind. Szoboszlai put him in behind, and then you get the tap in on the other side. He has to keep it. He has to keep it. There's no point of finding a solution. Clearly, what we was doing before doesn't work. We lost 4 in a row. So what he tried scored us 5 goals, which is the most we've scored so far this season in a game of football. I think we were fine from the first whistle. I know there was moments when it was like they broke through and got the first chance, and Mamardashvili had to make a good save. Then they got the next one and they scored from it. But I thought overall, Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai had a lot more control within the game. And then I think even though they had moments when they had a little bit of breakaway, I felt like we had enough players in the right areas to then combat that. Where in the past, it was more when they broke away, they had a shot on goal. Where I felt like they broke away and we stopped it. We nullified it because we had enough bodies back to kind of deal with it. Just keep it the same. Keep it the same. Try again and see what we can do. I think we can beat Brentford. I think if I don't know, we don't have to do much tweaking. I just think let the players get used to the new style or new system, and then you're going to have to put either Salah back in or Chiesa back in, because it looks like Isak will be injured. Bradley, which I thought was fine when he came in as well. You'd have to play him. I'd stick with Robbo at left back again. I think he gave us so much balance as well. Yeah. And then obviously that's another leader on the pitch. And then just run it again, man. Run it again, try it again, and see what we can do with it. Because clearly it wasn't a bad thing. We won 5-1, scored, and we could have probably scored more goals, to be fair. There was a couple more chances where...
Oh, we wasted a few chances, yeah.
Yeah, we did waste. Chiesa wasted one. Salah missed his chance, probably could have squared it there. There was one he could have reversed to Chiesa. Chiesa one where he opened up and he tried to hit it far post, probably could have put that across the box as well. So there was moments when we could have got even more goals in the game if we really wanted to. And look, a lot of people would say, Frankfurt isn't a good team. But you're right. I've heard you say it. A lot of people predicted us to lose that one as well. So it clearly not. Like, Liverpool are a good team when we can be on it, and when we're set up in the right way to get the best out of the players we have in the team. Keep it the same, and I think we can cook Brentford. To be fair, if we do it again, we keep the same.
Because like, what if the truth of the matter is, we don't know if yesterday was a good performance. How much was it aided by Frankfurt being quite naive in how they played, right? And a lack of performance. We don't know the answer to that question, but we will get the answer if we play the same team. Or I know some Isak probably won't make it, Frimpong won't make it, but if we play close enough to the same side with the same tactics, the same instructions, we'll get a better answer as to, maybe is this the right thing for us moving forward? We'll get that answer against Brentford, but we'll never learn if we keep changing to suit the opposition. Now, I know Brentford are a physical side, aggressive. They'll play long balls. They'll probably do what Slot's been quite clearly saying he doesn't like, which is teams, not playing the ball on the ground and keeping it in the air and set plays and all that. But Liverpool are never going to get to the level they need to get to win the competitions they want to win unless they find plan A. It can't just be chopping and changing game by game and in game. We're never going to find the consistency to be able to really nail down our best side and then play the football that we need to play to go and win these competitions. So even going into the game, if we don't know if it's the right thing to do to stick or twist it, you might as well stick, because at least then you've truly tested that tactic and that formula. And look, it's only 2 games, but it's a good enough test. It's probably the only consistency we've had so far this season. But my thing with it is it sends the right message. It sends the message to the players that you as the manager have an idea and that something worked and you're willing to stick with it. And if you as a player played against Frankfurt and did well, you will stay in the side Because if he brings Curtis Jones out of that team for, say, McAllister,
yes,
and if he puts Salah back into that side, what message does that send to the rest of the team?
It just tells Curtis that he's not the level of player for him for the big games.
And Slot needs to have what Klopp had, which is having players that are willing to run through walls for him.
Slot
that are willing to have, and he needs that backing from the players, where they, even if at times it's blind faith, it's just trusting what the manager asks of you. If you as a player is doing well and then you're pulled out the side, or you chop and change position, or sometimes you start, sometimes you see 20 minutes and it's all over the place, and you can't quite understand what the manager's thinking, you're not going to have that faith in your manager. And the minute that starts to diminish, it's over. And so Slot, whilst I admire the fact that he's tried to chop and change things and try to find the right formula, now is the time to start showing that actually he has some non-negotiables. And I hope that them non-negotiables are, if you work hard and you're given a chance in the first team and you perform well, that you stay there. And I don't think that anybody who, in yesterday's game for us, did anything other than put the effort in.
No,
and that sounds like an obvious thing to say.
Do you know?
But I've watched games this season with Liverpool, and there's been players I've looked at thinking, I'm not making an excuse for you here. You just look like you're not even really trying to. That's.
I think Ender's done the same, but that's why I've gone at some of the players, not just the manager as well. I think some of the players are hiding at times on the pitch, and not being called out for it because they get the protection from the manager, because they know the manager's going to get all the shit, so they get that protection from me. No, I think you're right in what you say, Cav. I think players like Curtis Jones, I think it's I think it's easy for Slot to drop players that are not fashionable and keep the big names in the team. It's harder to drop the big names and keep them happy by playing other people. And at this moment in time, Salah and McAllister are just not doing it for whatever reason it is. You could argue there we had maybe two of our better players last season. This season, it's like the total opposite. It's like gone fully around. But it's just for whatever reason, it's not working. Has he got it in him to go 2 games in a row, you two sitting bench? You've got for the benefit of the team. If you don't like it, we'll have that discussion after. But right now, for the benefit of the team, you two need to sit bench. And the thing is, last season, the players spoke glowingly about Arne Slot. So they obviously respect him enough to, and like the way he coaches and manages. So this is where Arne's got to show it, ain't it, Ends? Where he's got to show, I'm the man here. Like, I'm the guy in charge. I'm the one it all falls on. And I've got to do what benefits the team, not individuals.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are probably going to be looking at maybe the press conference, the lineup. And I think that's where a lot more people either go, they want him gone, or they'll be like, at least he's showing a bit of cojones here. And I think the things are, will Robbo start? Does McAllister play? Does Salah play? I think those are like the key ones he's looking for. Like for the fan base, I think they'll be looking like, who starts then? Because we saw something that worked. Are you going to now change it and revert back to type? And I think if he sticks to what he's doing, I think he'll get a lot more respect, not only from the players, but also from the fan base, even more so than what he has now. Because obviously there's some people that that don't want him here, and rightly so, because we've seen the errors of your ways and you're still not trying to fix it. Now we've seen that you're changing, but can we stick to this thing? Can we go in this direction? Because I'm willing to go with you. But if you change it back, then I'm sorry, bro. Like, you can't be at my football club going back to things that don't work when you figured something out that does work. So, but look, it's entirely down to him. He can run the team how he sees fit, but we're equally able to critique him as well if we're seeing errors in your ways and you're deciding to keep what you're doing. But I think with the McAllister and the Salah thing, I think they're both easy fixed. And I think I said it earlier on Copish, and I was saying it to the guys as well. I think with McAllister, just play him further forward now. I don't think you can use him in the double pivot no more. What it means, though, he'll probably have to sit on the bench because Wirtz will probably be the one that has to start. And rightly so, he's created the most opportunities as well. It looks more likely as well. So you'd go Wirtz, but then there's a moment when Wirtz can come off. You can then put a McAllister in that same position and utilize his skill sets there. Because 10 to 15 yards towards goal, I think he can cover that. But when he has to cover 10 to 15 yards from in our half and then carry it further forward. He saw it against Man United, made a great interception, traveled to the halfway line, and then had to cut back because he's not as quick as the other players. They all caught him up. But if that was a Soboslai, left them, Gravenberch, gone. Curtis Jones would have been gone. So let's utilize that level, that skill set further forward in areas where we know McAllister's closer to goal. You know he's not scared to get shots away. And we saw some amazing goals he scored. Also, he's got clever passing as well. He's got cute little passes where we play players in, but you want that closer to goal than deep line and then playing it into someone else. And I think you look at his positions he picks up, they're so advanced all the time because I think it's just natural in him to want to play further forward. So let's try and get the best out of him doing that. With Salah on the other side, you're not getting the best out of him on the right-hand side. Can we not change it? If we're going to go with this system, play him as one of the strikers then. And let's see what we can do with him more closer to goal, with someone a lot closer to him as well. And let someone like a Wirtz or whoever else you want to put out there, let them go and do all the running and all of that stuff and to get the 1v1s and all that. And then cut it to him inside the box where we know he can be clinical when given the opportunity as well. Take the weight off him, off his shoulders for being the one that has to create and you have to score. And now we just want you to stay in here. You drop into the space, like what Ekitike was doing. You drop in, collect it, play those nice little 1-2 spin, and we'll try and get you back on the ball. But those are easy fix, in my opinion, bro. I don't know if the manager will do that. But if he sticks to what he was doing, it's not going to work for both of them, and their forms are not going to improve.
Yeah, I agree, man. I've got the line. I think he might do this against Brentford. I think he's going to keep Curtis Jones in there. I think he's going to bring Grav back if he's available. He's going to keep Szoboszlai out of being a midfield three. And he's going to put Wirtz up close to Ekitike instead of Isak. That play up there. Because I'd rather that than put Salah alongside him right now. Yeah, I think it would work a little bit better. Just insert Wirtz in the Isak role of yesterday and then keep the midfielders is.
And that's if Grav is fit, you said.
That's if Grav's fit. If it's not fit, then I think he goes to what it was and he just plays Salah instead of Isak.
Yeah, but I like what you're saying, Jay, because you touched upon the movement, and that's what Liverpool. That's what frustrates me so much about this Liverpool side so far this season. Is it's like it's not doing the basics of like running and moving into space. It's the off the ball work that's not there. Now, I get it. Some players are sort of out of position, or the coach is asking them to do particular things. They've got set instruction that probably restricts them from doing that. But like, football's not complicated in that respect. You can't receive the ball if you're not in space. So if you continue to stand in space and there's no passing lane that's clear between you and the man on the ball, you're not going to get it. So move into space. And then for the guy on the ball, if the pass isn't there, move with the ball into space so then the pass does and open up. Like, these are things that I think Liverpool, you see it so often at times. Defenders have got the ball at the back, and then you just see all of our forwards and all of our midfielders like in a line at the top of the pitch against their back four. And you just think, who's going to drop in here? You know, and it might be that one player, Wirtz or the striker, drops, but he's then dropping so far back to receive the ball that he's then stood next to the centre backs, and it's just like this massive gaps that being left between the lines of these players. And it's just like, yes, because everybody's standing waiting. You've got to move. You've got to be selfless. You've got to accept the fact that although you probably aren't as fit as you once were, or anything like that, or you're not 100% match sharp, or all these things, it's early in the season, doesn't take away from the fact that you're going to have to probably run 12, 13 kilometers in this game. So just fucking do it. Run off the ball, and then what happens on it will come, you know. But I think that's one thing that I've been really disappointed in. Two things really. Duels. I think we should be shirting duels a lot this season. We've not been winning their battles. And movement off the ball. Because I can accept sloppy passing at times. I can accept that, you know, a player never intends to not connect a pass.
Yeah.
But the movement is you being lazy. And no football team has ever been great and lazy. That just does not work. So it's the movement. And so that's why I don't mind the Ekitike Wirtz thing. If one of them's dropping in, and then the other one goes in behind, or if one's drifting in off the wing, well, then the space is on the wing, so one moves into that space then, and it's having that. It's not even great intelligence; it's basics of football, to be honest with you. But this is what that team can only really get if they play consistently with one another, because not only are they seeing the space and then moving into it, they'll know their space is going to be there because they know how their teammate plays, so they can do it a second or 2 seconds earlier. And then that's when, as long as the passing's sharp, you start to get some patterns, you start to get some fluidity. And it's just something that we've been poor at, but I hope we get better. And I think that the lineup that we selected yesterday, I think we need to stick with, because I think it's going to give us that. It's going to give us that balance in the side. It's going to give us an attacking threat from both the left and right flanks. Through the middle, we're going to have players naturally drift inside as well. So it just looks like, from an offensive point of view, that just offers us a bit more. And it doesn't take a lot to achieve that. It's just simple things. And look, just going back to it with Slot and tying it all together, whether he picks the same lineup and the instructions he gives these players, and is he bold enough to leave Mac and Grav and Salah out and stuff. Look, this guy was brought in as a head coach. He was brought in to get the best out of these players and to build the team to win games. Yes, he plays his part in his recruitment. Of course he does. It's a committee. But he wasn't, if you've watched Klopp on Stephen Bartlett's podcast, he explains how much he took on, especially post-COVID. That's not Slot's role. His role is just to get the best out of these football players. So that's what he needs to do. And if it means selecting the players that are in form, that's what you do. Despite salary, despite how much they were bought for, despite how many Instagram followers they've got, despite how much of a fuss they might kick up and remove their images on social media, you don't care about any of that. You just care about the players that give you the best chance of winning. And that's it.
No, I agree, man. I agree. Listen, I'm going to have to finish it there because I've got my big up show. Big up the chat. Big up everyone. My big up show starts in a few minutes, guys. If you're not going to big up already, the link is at the top of the chat. Obviously, if you've been at Big Up before, you know the situation over there. It's just like YouTube, but password and email is all you need if you want to interact and get in the chat. You boys are very welcome to come over and join us with me if you want. It's going to be me and Cal carrying on all this discussion. I actually go discuss the Salah situation as well. So you guys are more, Enz knows how to do Big Up and all that if you've not done it before, Cav. It's, come on over, man. The link is at the top of the chat. We're going to have some great discussions over there. Talk over for an hour or so, carrying on this conversation, because it's a good conversation. It's good football talk that we're having as well. No one's getting cooked. Do you know what I mean? it's all good stuff. So, guys, we're going to end this here, and we're going to go over to Big Up, and we should be starting around 5 minutes, and just go grab myself a drink. And if the boys want to come, they're more than welcome to. You always are, guys. Cool. So we'll go end it there, guys. Big up everyone. Hit the link in the live chat, and I'll see you over on Big Up in a few minutes.